The straight blast is everywhere on the internet, sold as an unstoppable street fighting tactic. But in reality, it's one of the most overrated, mechanically broken fighting techniques still being sold to people who've never tasted real violence. Stick around because I'm going to show you why this laughable stupidity is pure garbage for anyone dumb enough to bet their life on it. Let's check it out. For anyone who's actually experienced real-world violence, the straight blast does not look aggressive or overwhelming at all. It looks ridiculous. Grown men sprinting forward like Disney fairies, arms flailing in a pathetic chain-punching circus, hoping it compensates for zero safety and zero knockout power. Once you see my breakdowns, you'll understand exactly why betting your life on this garbage is suicide. The straight blast is marketed as a fast, decisive solution to real violence. Sprint forward to close the distance gap and overwhelm the opponent with Wing Chun chain punches. In demonstrations, it fools the exact idiots it's aimed at. People who've never eaten a real punch, never been blitzed, and never had someone explode back with vicious criminal intent. Those promises only work if your opponent stands frozen like a punching bag. Step into real violence, the kind that counters and crashes back with vicious intent, and every single straight blast collapses like a condemned building. Let's start with the most fundamental failure: zero neutralizing power. The straight blast prioritizes speed and volume over knockout power. That's the fatal flaw. Speed without power does not produce damage. It produces exposure. There's no meaningful hip rotation, no weight or mass transfer, and no tactical targeting. Instead, you get rapid vertical punches that rely entirely on shoulder and tricep engagement, small muscles generating pathetic force. These punches might look busy, but they're not going to shut anything down. You'll also hear the BS excuse that the footwork creates power during the straight blast. It does not, because the steps are not even synchronized with each strike. They're just running forward while punching. It's a complete joke. Real stopping power comes from mass, weight transfer, and body integration, not frantic arm flapping. So from the very start, the straight blast fails to deliver decisive force capable of ending the fight immediately. The next failure is tactical, and it's even more catastrophic. The straight blast commits both hands at the same time. When you do that, you give up your ability to protect against what's coming back. That idiotic overcommitment leaves your body wide open to a wide range of counters you can't see or stop once it starts. Any opponent with half a brain can slip, bob and weave, change levels, or simply crash forward to negate the stupid straight blast. And don't forget about the sharks out there. They're the wrestlers, the BJJ fighters, the MMA guys, and seasoned street brawlers who live for this exact stupid mistake. They won't trade with you. They won't hesitate. They will eat you alive. They're not going to play your stupid little game. They're going to shoot under the arms, drive through the center, and turn your precious chain-punching tantrum into a ground and pound feeding frenzy. And boxers, they're not going to play along either. They're going to angle out and crack you with a fight-ending hook. Hey, we're about to get back into the video, but let me ask you something. Do you want to legitimately accelerate your self-defense skills? And are you sick of clickbait videos teaching absolute garbage? Or tired of being misled by unqualified wannabe experts who have zero credibility or experience? If the answer is yes, now is the time to join my War Machine memberships. As a member, you're going to get exclusive access to in-depth training videos, exclusive full-feature video content, downloadable training PDFs, and direct insights you're not going to find anywhere else. Plus, You're going to have direct access to me in the comment section of all my videos. So if you have questions, you're going to get real, detailed answers from me and not some random keyboard warrior. So if you're serious about mastering real-world combat skills, hit the join button below and start training like a true war machine. Now, let's get back to the lesson. And then there's the absurd claim that the straight blast somehow works against multiple attackers. That's not just wrong. It's one of the most brain-dead, laughably dangerous ideas ever spoken. The straight blast is a one-way ticket to a clinch. It's a clinch magnet. And the second you get tied up with one guy, the other two or three or four will turn you into a human piñata. Real multiple attacker survival isn't about vomiting chain punches like a Wing Chun robot. It's about understanding group dynamics under pressure. Things like identifying alpha and subordinates, strategic positioning, avoiding lockups, selective targeting. It's about explosive entry and exit, constant movement, creating space, and using the environment and always thinking in terms of escape. I break all of this down in detail in my Rat Packed video where I teach you how to realistically fight multiple attackers. I'll put a link in the description down below if you'd like to check it out. And if you're a War Machine Elite member, you can stream it for free in the members only section of this channel. And if you're not already a member, click the join button below to check out all the different membership options we have available. The straight blast's most pathetic claim is that it overwhelms the adversary into some magical shutdown. That's not just stupid, it's amateur hour from people who clearly have zero clue about real human violence. Wing Chun clowns and JKD fanboys love parroting that flooding someone with chain punches will automatically overwhelm them into collapse. Bullshit. In real rage-fueled, adrenaline-soaked, and drugged-out fights, pain tolerance goes through the roof. People don't mentally fold because your arms are flailing fast. They get angrier, more committed, and keep swinging harder. You're not shutting anything down. There's no cognitive shutdown. You're just pissing off a predator who now wants to hurt you even more. Overwhelming someone is not neurological shutdown. Confusing the two is a telltale sign of someone who's never studied how the nervous system behaves under real stress. Real cognitive shutdown with the opponent's ability to process, react, and fight requires disruption of their baseline survival functions. Not volume, not speed, not flailing like a panicked child. That's exactly why I'm showing you brief clips of my Widowmaker program. It demonstrates legitimate neurological collapse under pressure. When it lands correctly, the opponent stops fighting because their brain can no longer effectively command the body. That's not overwhelming someone. That's cognitive shutdown. Period. Wing Chun chain punching isn't capable of producing real neurological failure. Instead of causing shutdown, it relies on frantic movement and hope. That's why it remains Kung Fu theater, not reality-based self-defense. Here's one of Wing Chun's most pathetic traits. The moment anyone throws rapid linear punches in a real fight, they rush to claim it, saying things like, "That's Wing Chun's chain punching," or "That's the straight blast." That everything is Wing Chun defense is the last refuge of a collapsing system. Rapid linear punching existed long before Wingdom Kung Fu, and they'll exist long after it's gone. What you're seeing here is linear punches applied in different fighting contexts. After a first strike, on the heavy bag, and when ground pounding. Ignorant people label this as Wing Chun because they don't know what they're looking at. Newsflash, linear punching isn't a style. It's fighting. Wing Chun defenders immediately scream ownership. No, morons, it's just fighting that works. Wing Chun Kung Fu didn't invent rapid linear punching. Instead, they branded it, ritualized it, and retroactively claimed ownership. That obsession isn't relevance. It's how a martial art that never actually worked tries to stay relevant in the 21st century. Before we wrap this up, one truth needs to be said. After 35 years of building real-world combat methods, the nonsense becomes obvious. Claims about effectiveness, psychological shutdown, and multiple attackers don't survive expert scrutiny. But here's the truth why Wing Chun garbage still survives. Most people don't have a trained eye, and they've never faced real-world violence. To the untrained viewer, fast hands look impressive, linear punches look technical, forward lunging looks aggressive, and the moment someone throws rapid straight shots, they scream, "That's Wing Chun," because they have no understanding of the mechanics, structure, torque, or how real force is generated. They've never pressure tested anything. They've never seen real neurological shutdown in a live fight. So they mistake frantic motion for mastery, speed for power, and nonsense for functional fighting. That's how outdated Kung Fu theater keeps getting recycled, repackaged, and sold to people who don't know any better. Once you develop a trained eye, the illusion collapses. What looked effective becomes tactically flawed, and what looked unstoppable just looks flat out stupid. This nonsense survives because most people are not trained to see it. They stay dazzled by fast hands, linear flurries, and forward aggression, never stopping to ask whether any of it actually works against someone who fights back with vicious intent. The goal of this channel is simple: to teach you what actually works and what doesn't under real-world violence by breaking down tactics and methods that produce real-world self-defense solutions. Over time, you're going to develop that trained eye, and you're going to stop being fooled by these ridiculous martial art techniques and start recognizing false claims the moment they're made. And once that happens, the martial arts world can't sell you fantasies anymore, no matter how loud they get. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next video.